This is Jeremiah Israel, and this is Jeremiah's Bible study, and going to Genesis. I want to talk about the link with African Americans and the slave trade, the so-called African Americans in the slave trade. That'd be nice. That's right. The so-called African Americans. That's right. You're so-called African Americans. You're Israel. I'm about to prove it to people right now. If you know anything about the Bible, Israel was God's chosen people. Was God's chosen people. And I'm going to start off with Genesis 15:13. And he said unto Abraham, know of surely that thy seed shall be a stranger in lands that there is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Now, 400 years, we'll go back into the 1600s when slaves first came to America, and 1619, and today is 2012. The 400 years is almost up. The 400 years ends in 2019. So, but is it talking about us? That's the question. Okay. Now I want to go right here in Genesis 17:21. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. Now, Sarah was supposed to bear a son called Isaac to Abraham, and Isaac was supposed to get a son called Jacob, who is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel, which found in chapter 49 of Genesis. Okay, Deuteronomy, verse 28. Verse 16. And this is what happened to the African Americans when they got here. This is the whole kit and caboodle right here. This describes you up to the T. Now I'll read this all the way down. And because we are serving other gods right now, and we are not serving the Most High. We're not staying in His words and His covenants and His statutes proclaimed in Leviticus and Deuteronomy and Exodus. This is what's happening to us today. Verse 16, cursed shall thou be in the city, cursed shall thou be in the field, cursed shall thou be in the basket in thy store, cursed shall thou be fruit of thy body, and cursed shall thou be in the fruit of thy land, in the increase of thy kind, and the flock of thy sheep. Cursed shall thou be when thou goest in, and cursed thou shalt be when thou goest out. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing and vexation and rebuke in all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until the perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. But how you forsaken the Most High is because you went against His laws, you went against His statutes, you went against His commandments, which is located in the New Testament. And the Bible and the church don't teach you. I mean, it's located in the Old Testament. When the Bible don't teach you the Old Testament. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until He have consumed thee from off the land where thou goest to possess it. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with a sword, and with the blasting and the mildew, and thou shalt pursue thee until thou perish. And thy heavens that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And we've been removed all the kingdoms of the earth. You see African Americans everywhere, and when they become actors or celebrities in America, they are called African Americans. They're not called Afro Europeans, and not called Afro Canadians, and not called African South Americans, and not called all these things. They're always called African Americans when they get to America. And that carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. That has happened when we came into slavery. When the slave master came into Africa, he went down and captured us, and it was 1,000 miles, maybe even more, where he found us, and he marched us 1,000 miles back to the ocean, while a lot of us died of all kinds of freaking problems, and we became food for fowls of the air. And our carcass shall be meat unto the fowls of the air and unto the beasts of the earth. That's what happened. And no man shall fray them away. And the Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou hast not been healed. The Lord shall smite thee with the madness, and the blindness, and the astonishment of heart, and thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in the darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall fray thee. No man shall fray thee. No man shall fray thee. And we not prospering in our ways in any way. What have we done in this country but built it? Nothing else. You didn't get the accolades of building this country. We didn't get anything from building this country. We didn't get acres in the mule, 50 acres in the mule, whatever you want to call it, 10 acres in the mule. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant vineyards, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Other men sleep with black women. If it's your wife, it's not your wife, it's your sister. That's all it does. All right, it's been happening since slavery. Okay. And you build a house with your kids and so forth and so on, and you're not in the house. You're somewhere else. You build a house, meaning your kids, your wife, and so forth and so on. You stay a little time, and then you're jettisoned out of the house by either or persons. Thy ox shall be slain before thy eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thy asses shall be violently taken away before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fill with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy eyes. That's what happened with your kids in slavery when they came over here and on the boat. And what happened was when the people went into slavery, the family was separated from their kids, and they went into slavery, as well as you, purchased by another family. And you couldn't do nothing about it. The fruit of thy land and all the labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. And that's what happened in slavery. When we was in the field, we were making cotton, we were making grapes, fruits, you name it. Who was eating the majority of the fruits? Who was getting guts of pigs and so forth and so on? That's right, Hebrews. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed. From the soles of thy foot unto the top of thy head, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shall serve other gods, wood and stone. Wood and stone gods are crosses and your Muslims and your Kaaba. Thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword, and among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. We come an astonishment and a proverb and a byword among nations, even ourselves. We talk about each other all the time because we're black and we hate each other and people hate us. That's as simple as that, and that's why they talk about us all goddamn day. So excuse my language. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. And gather little in, locusts will consume. This happened in slavery. When we was doing cotton and oranges and fruits and so forth and so on, we gathered little in. All we did, all they gave us was guts and so forth and so on, and that's all they fed us, guts. Thou shalt plant vineyards, and dress them, but shall not neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thy olives shall cast his fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. All thy trees and fruits of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get up very high, and thou shalt come very low. That's what happened nowadays. White people, Caucasians, are up from us very high. I mean high. We, on the other hand, are very low. And that's why we do the things we do to get to see riches, get to dress riches, get a little amount of money and think it's riches. I mean, really. Dressing gold, dressing in platinum, dressing fine clothes, dressing cars, dressing all kinds of stuff, trying to furnish your apartment, stuff like that, and you can't afford none of these things. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. That is what's going on right now. Auto insurance, housing insurance. Who lends us these things? That's right, the Caucasian man. Do we lend to him? No. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. This is why you're in the position you are, because you did not keep the commandments. Commandments is in the Old Testament. Okay? And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And a sign upon and they shall be upon thee a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. This is why most people are recognizing who the tribe of Israel is, God's chosen people. All right, and it cannot be denied. When chapter Deuteronomy 28 is a direct description who the house of Israel is. There's no denying this. Okay? Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart. How? We've been serving God for 400 years. Wise it says, because thou serve not the Lord thy God with joyfulness, and with gladness of heart. We serving God, supposedly, in our churches with joyfulness and gladness of heart. So what is God talking about? Unless somebody presented you with a different God and kept you out of this book. For the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, what the Lord shall set against thee. This is what happened right now. We are serving our enemies. God said that these are our enemies. Alright? And as simple as that. And like any other enemy, you'll never know when they be knocking on your door to destroy you. Okay? What the Lord shall send thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. This is what happened to us. We get a car, everything. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But how you get it? Through Him. You got that gold chain. Oh man, I'm looking good. I'm looking good. How'd you get it? Through Him. Oh man, I got this badass motorcycle. How'd you get it? Through Him. Oh man, I got all this food up in here. How'd you get it? Through Him. And vice versa. And He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until He have destroyed thee. A yoke upon our neck. We used to have a big chain around our neck. With a chain, a chain and a yoke. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the ends of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. We were speaking Hebrew. They were speaking the King's English. That's why we could not understand what they was talking about. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of the old, nor show favor to the young. That's what happened. They be throwing kids overboard, killing old folk, just demonstrate the fear they could put upon you, and so forth and so on, introducing you to that gun, and so introducing you to that whip. And ye shall eat the fruit of the cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or an increase of thy kind, or the flocks of thy sheep, until He hath destroyed thee. And He shall besiege thee in all thy gates. He shall besiege you in all thy gates. Everything you try to do, He has to improve on it. Alright? You try to get rich, He has to improve it. Try to get a car, He has to improve it. Try to go to school, He has to approve of it. Until thy high and fenced walls come down, when thou trustest throughout all thy land. And He shall besiege thee in all thy gates, throughout all thy land which the Lord thy God hath given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, and the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee in the siege, and in the straitness, and wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother. This is what happened nowadays. It's so bad, I can't even control it. This is what happening nowadays. Brothers are hating each other. They are evil towards their brother and towards the wife of his bosom. That's what's happening. Another thing that's happening with the sister. And towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. This is going on now. Brothers are just leaving their children and their kids and their wives. nowadays, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege. After the siege, we have nothing left. We can't support anything right now. Got no money to support no kids and shit, stuff like that. Supposedly, because he besieged us in all our gates. Tell us how much we can get paid, how we get paid, even in drug sales. Not that I approve of that. So that the man that is tender among you and the very delicate his eye shall be evil towards his brother and towards his wife of the bosom and towards the remnants of his children which he shall leave. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege and the straitness, wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the soles of her foot upon the ground, delicateness sake and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards her husband, and of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter, and towards her young one that committeth out from between her feet, and towards her children, which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things. Secretly in the siege and straitness within thy enemies shall distress thee in thy gates. This is what happened with the sisters nowadays. Alright? I mean, not too long ago, a sister put a baby inside a microwave. Okay? Cooked it and broke out. Another sister left a whole bunch of kids inside the house, and the house burned down. And it's a good chance that she burned it down. Matter of fact, she did. If thou wilt not observe to do the words of the Lord that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear the glorious and the fearful name, the Lord thy God, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sick, long continuance. This is happening with AIDS. We leading AIDS, sickle cell, you name it, we leading it. It's ridiculous. I mean, really. I mean, this year is a statistic that says that brothers and sisters are getting worse in these areas. Verse 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and thou shalt cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of the law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of the heavens of the multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. Like I said, the enhancement of AIDS increased dramatically. Unbelievable. And it says right there, and ye shall be left few. You few in number, whereas you were the stars of the heavens for the multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. How you obey the Lord thy God? Get in his ways of life. Get out of these Christian churches and get out of the mosque, because that is not your belief. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good, and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. And that's the problem. Wherever we go, if we don't go back in this belief, in our original belief, wherever we go in the land, meaning if we get ejected out of America, which it's coming more and more a fact, because the simple fact is it's hard to live in this country. We will be plucked off of it wherever we go. It's gonna come so bad for the tribe of Israel, especially Judah, that they're gonna remember Jerusalem. They're gonna go back there and kill everybody there to get their land back and follow the laws which God commanded you to do. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, and from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, whither neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. This is a repeat of what God was talking about. You going to serve other gods, wood and stone, Christianity and Islam. Stone, Islam, Christianity, wood. Among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall thy sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling of heart, and a failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have no insurance of a life. I can say this from normal people. Earlier this year, black people getting shot left and right, dead, boom. Trayvon Martin, dead, boom. Okay? Several other people died. Black men, dead. Females dying nowadays, getting shot. So, and among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall thy sole of thy feet have rest. But Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and a failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in the doubt of thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have no assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, what God is it were even? And even thou shalt say, what God were their morning? For the fear of thy heart wherein thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. And this is the kicker right here. How did the original Hebrews get brought into Egypt? They migrated to Egypt. They was there for several hundred years. And what happened was they was enslaved by the Egyptians. That's right. Enslaved by Egyptians to build their pyramids and societies. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way wherewith I spoke unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. There ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. This is what happened. This is exactly what happened to us. There is no record in history that that any race on earth that was sent into slavery with ships. Deuteronomy 30, verse 19 and 20. And it shall come to pass, when all these things shall come upon thee, blessings and curses which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations where the Lord thy God has driven thee. See, verse 28 talks about how he drove us out of Africa and brought us into slavery among all nations. And this is the continuation. And I'm going to read it again one time. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, and the blessings and cursings which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all nations, That's what's happening right now. We are calling it unto mind of all nations. We are telling everybody we are the children of Israel. And the blessings and cursings which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all nations. All nations are admitting it right now, that we are the tribe of Israel, where the Lord thy God hath driven thee, and shalt return unto the Lord thy God, and shalt obey his voice according to all I command thee this day. So whatever happened in America, because at this point in time, black people ain't going nowhere, it seems, mentally anyway. This is what's happening right now. A lot of brothers are thinking about their history, and they realizing the Bible is their history, and they're calling it to mind. And shalt return unto the Lord thy God, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I commanded thee this day, thou and thy children with all thy heart and with all thy soul. This is what brothers doing right now. They're doing everything to get this word out to the people with all their heart and all their soul. That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity. You know how he was talking about you have to recognize your way of life, Israel. The only way to turn your captivity is not to go away from Israel, because wherever you go, whatever country you go, you run away from America, wherever you go, country you go, you're going to be plucked out of it. And shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, and thou and thy children with all thy heart and with all thy soul. That when the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee. So, if you want this horrible world called America and the rest of the world to treat you like a real nation, you have to get into this book and learn your real history. And will return, and I have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all nations whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee. So this is a big lesson for the Most High. I'm talking about decades upon decades upon decades upon decades. He don't work one day, he works decades. And if people don't get back into this book and realize they're the tribe of Israel and get their customs back and worship the Most High and call him by his rightful name, Yahweh, then you're going to have, you don't want to believe that, then you're going to have a major problem, because your preachers are lying to you, your imams are lying to you, your pastors are lying to you, all these people are lying to you. They have trained your mind to believe in falsehoods, got you scared of following the ways of the Most High. And this is what happens in Jeremiah 6, verse 16 and 17. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the way, and see, this is God's talking to you, and ask for the old path. The old path is not Islam. For us, the old path is not Christianity. The old path is Israel. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old path, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. This is what you are doing. That is why you are in your troubles right now. That's why you seeing your kids die. That's why you seeing brothers dying on the street. That's why you seeing people taking drugs and losing their goddamn minds. That's why you are seeing all these things. Because you refuse to return to Most High and his commandments and his belief, Israel. And this is us, Hebrew Israelites. Also, I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they say, we will not hearken. So, if y'all don't turn back to your regular ways, God is going to send something that you've never seen before. And sooner it's going to get worse. And it's progressing right now. Brothers and sisters are not having a hard time getting a job. There's more crime rate when it comes to black people in jail than ever. They are throwing the book at you in prison for meager things. Gotta get back in this book. Gotta search out the Most High. You gotta be one with the Most High and never turn, ever. This is Jeremiah Israel, and this is Jeremiah Bible Study, Hebrew Israelite Bible Study. Shalom.